Oh, good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode 36 of season 2 of Be With Me. And at the end of today, I hope that there's a single word. The word is ransom. I hope it is thumping in your head all day long. I hope you'll be able to tell me your story of rescue, of ransom. And if not, you'll be convicted that you don't have a story of rescue or ransom. So here's the passage from today. It's in Mark chapter 10, verse 45. And Jesus has been talking about leadership and service and coming under and being their servant. And then he specifies it here in verse 45. For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. To give his life as a ransom for many. So, ransom, it's a Greek word, lutron. It means the price paid for a slave's release. Even the definition is offensive. And as we enlarge our view of God towards his holiness and his generosity, we get a shrinking view of myself and a more real view of ourselves. And here's the thing about Christianity. You've heard the book, I'm okay, you're okay. Well, the fact of Christianity and the reality is that we are not okay, that compared to God at least, that we have offense. That we are in need of rescue. We have something that we can't get out of, and we need help from two things. We're slaves to sin here, and we're slaves to the penalty of sin. So the power of it and its penalty. And so that's just in its essence offensive. So if you don't like it, welcome to the club. I don't like it either. It was one of the hardest things for me to get over in coming to the Lord. All right, let's talk about the currency. So what is it? There's something that is given for the slaves. There's a price paid for slaves. And what is that currency? What is exchanged, if you will? Is it $100 bills? Is it gold coins? Is it diamonds? No, we find out that it's actually blood. So let's turn just for a second. It's mentioned a couple of times. Let's turn to Revelation chapter 5. And there we find that no one in heaven is worthy of opening the scroll, and there's weeping because nobody can do it. And then they realize that, hey, Jesus, the Lamb, can open this scroll. And then here it is, Revelation 5:8. And when he had taken the scroll, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, each holding a harp. That's where the harps in heavens come from. And golden bowls of incense, which are the prayers of the saints. And they sang a new song, saying, worthy are you to take the scroll and to open its seals, for you were slain, and by your blood is the currency, and by your blood you ransom people for God from every tribe, every language, every people, and every nation. So the currency isn't treasures of gold and diamond, it's a life, and represented by the blood. So this thumping in your head I talked about, I hope that ransom is thumping in your head. Why do I hope so? Well, these guys in heaven, 24 elders and some strange spiritual creatures, they are worshiping in heaven right now. It's, in other words, it's thumping in their head. The concept that I'm trying to be touched with this morning, or at least I'm touched with it, is we should be worshiping God and appreciating God for this blood and life and the currency, because in heaven they're doing it right now. They're worshiping God for it. So we might get a clue to this. All right, so what's the purpose? The purpose is to be free. It's the release of slaves is the fancy word for it is called manumission, and it's taking one's hands that are bound, manacles, if you will, and unbinding. It's the actual unbinding, and we are to be freed from something and then given to God So free from sin, free from the slavery of sin, and given to God. So I think of justice, mercy, and grace. So justice is getting exactly what you deserve. Mercy is getting less than you deserve. And grace is getting more than we deserve. So not only do we get freed from sin, so we don't get justice, that's great. That's celebration number one. And then secondly, we get mercy. We don't get the penalty. We get less than we deserve. And then finally, we get grace. We get to go to God and have a relationship with him and get all these blessings. And so there's a grace associated with this as well. So not only get it free from sin, we get more than just the negative. We get the positive, which is grace and a relationship with the Lord and power to have freedom from walking in sin. Okay, so then what's the scope here? It's for many. It's for every tribe. It's for every language. It's every people, every nation. You're not the only one. So that's the fun part about this, is you get a fellowship of fellow ransom rescued people. And the result, obviously, is we should be falling down. We should be pulling out our harps. We should be singing a new song. And the result is we get, hopefully, some rescue from our futile ways that we've inherited from our forefathers. That's in 1 Peter chapter 1:18. So the target of this rescue is people. This is like too good to be true. So here's my question as we close. What day were you ransomed? And if you don't know, if you were in bondage with your hands manacled and you got rescued, believe me, you would remember that story for the rest of your life. Read the book Lone Survivor if you want to hear a great story of that, where the guy escapes from the Taliban and then finally is rescued, and the Marines come over the hill to rescue him, and he tells the story, and it's just a great. So if you can't tell me that story of rescue until proven otherwise, then you haven't been rescued. And maybe today you're in need of a ransom. So let's either get ransomed or be grateful that we have been ransomed. So I hope this thumps in your head all day long today. Have I been ransomed? And if so, the Son of Life, the Son of Man came not to serve, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Lord, you are amazing. Thank you for ransoming us.